Main topic number one down and out of the way now. Let's get into the second main topic, which, as promised, we're going to talk about my picks for the FAWSL Manager of the Month and Player of the Month for December. So, we'll start off with player. Player's usually a little bit more interesting in terms of the fan base, but who I've got for Player of the Month, the nominees were Leah Galton, Sam Kerr, Jess Fishlock, Caroline Weir, and Caitlin Ford. I believe it was those five. The player I ended up picking, it breaks my heart a little bit because I love Leah Galton. I ended up picking Sam Kerr for my pick for Player of the Month. Sam Kerr has started off this season like a rocket. I think she's really finding her form and her place in this Chelsea squad. She scored four goals in 2 games this month, so she did it in almost no time. She had a hat trick in that first game against West Ham, and she did it in a time when Chelsea needed to sort of start gaining ground and get a foothold and try to get into that first spot above United and also get above Arsenal in second. And she did so at a time now. They've got 2 games in hand and they're in third. Like that tells you a lot. And if they can continue that run of form, it's going to be excellent for Chelsea. Leah Galton was my close second. The only reason I didn't pick Leah Galton for Player of the Week is because United played one more game, and I'd argue also probably played weaker competition than Chelsea. Leah Galton did have 4 goals in the month of December, but like I said, they played one less game, and I believe she had 2 against Bristol City. No disrespect to any of you who are Bristol City fans, but Bristol City has been dreadful this season. I mean, I believe they're dead last. Their goal difference is, I believe, minus in the 30s at this point, so it just hasn't looked good for them. But Leah Galton still played out of her mind in the month of December. Full credit to her. I just think Sam Kerr gets the slight edge because of the hat trick and also playing 1 game fewer and at a time when her team really wanted to start climbing up the table. So good on Sam Kerr. That's my pick for the FAWSL Player of the Month for December. Now let's move on to the Manager of the Month for December. This is a bit of a bold take here, but I ended up picking Rianne Skinner. The reason being is because at the beginning of the month, Tottenham, I believe, were second to last, only above Bristol City by a point or two, maybe. They managed to win a couple of games convincingly, mind you, convincingly, both 3-1 wins, and climb up like 3 or 4 spots on the table. They are now in 8th, if I'm not mistaken. They were 11th before. And the best part about it is they have a game in hand, so once they make up that game in hand, that's another potential 3 points that they could get. They were in a really tough spot at that point because you don't want to be that close to being in a relegation battle. And I think that Rianne has really done a good job at rallying the troops, getting a team together with, I think, a plan and starting to climb up the table a little bit. So I think they've gained a ton of ground, and that's really admirable. Casey Stoney and Emma Hayes for me were really, really close seconds. The only reason I didn't pick either of them was for the aforementioned reason that Skinner got Tottenham, that is, up 3 spots in the table, which I know feels a little bit like awarding, I don't want to say mediocrity, but for lack of a better term, awarding mediocrity because Manchester United haven't lost this season, and Emma Hayes has Chelsea in third with 2 games in hand. They've both teams have been playing out of their minds. Both managers have elicited very strong masterclass tactics and have gotten their teams to perform very well. It's just neither one of them have made that drastic of a jump. I think if Casey Stoney and Emma Hayes both their squads had played like really really tough competition, I think either one of them would have had a better case. But in Tottenham's case, you jump up that many points or that many places in the table in a month. It speaks volumes. It really does. So good on Rianne for my manager of the month. It's a bit of a hot take, but let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments down below. Who are your FAWSL manager and player of the month awards for December? Let me know. Don't be shy.